Hey guys, what's going on? Originally I was going to video and do this entire thing with a genie battle to talk about how useless Witch is and how insanely, not viable a toxic deck is. And I played against Genie, and I basically, super, witched their entire board, and it didn't matter. And I was gonna video that, and I was like, you know what, it's fine. And eventually, I came across, this jokey deck. A long time ago, there used to be a deck called the No-Win deck. You know what, I'll tell the story first, to hook you onto staying for the rest of this video. There used to be a deck called the No-Win deck. I called it the No-Win. I don't know if it was the official name, but I used to call it the No-Win deck. And it was Shaman back when Shaman targeted. And it was Priestess, Cauldron, Shaman, Harlequin, and Mime. And this was Priestess before Talents, so it was even worse than it is now. And it was Trickster. And it was literally just, you could not win if the round went past 4. Your Priestess wouldn't do enough damage. So the entire thing was just to shaman every single thing that your opponent had as soon as they brought it out. And then you use Priestess to come in and you merge them immediately, and you use Cauldrons and you kind of build up mana with Cauldrons, and then you just super shaman their board. And it was called I called it the No-Win deck because you basically either won by round 3 or you lost. And so I wanted to recreate that just as a joke. And this is how useless Witch is. Now, granted, I don't do the level, the 700, so I upgraded to 400, and then I start super witching him. I'm witching him right now, and if you haven't noticed, this is definitely a bot. I'm just playing a bot. I was going to label this, the reason why I'm witching so hard right now is because I thought I'd immediately win in the first round, just by witching his entire board, immediately, and that's why I'm trying so hard right now. Right here, I love this situation where you can just, wait, and then all of your level 3s will just super witch them, and then you could have reactivations. This is me not even having a Max Harlequin. Max Harlequin would make this deck better, but as you'll see over the course of this entire game, playing against a bot, this is how bad Witch is. Witch is useless. You can witch basically their entire field, and it doesn't matter. And I don't understand it. I guess at a certain point, you just have so much crit damage that the early waves, you're doing so much more above that damage with a singular unit that you healing doesn't matter. And it's kind of insane. This battle goes on for way longer than you'd think it would be. Because again, yes, I'm playing against a bot. A bot that doesn't have a cleanse at all. It has no cleanse on the Boreas. It's running a Bestie. No cleanse on any of the talents. I am running against a cleanseless deck. And it goes for 4 rounds. And there's nothing. There's nothing. And so if this is how useless it is, against somebody playing a no cleanse deck, and they're still able to completely wipe the board like that, how do you think this is gonna do against a mermaid deck with counter spells, with the new modifier, the event modifier? The base modifier is also a cleanse. Right here, I thought I was gonna kill him. Nope. Definitely don't. Mad Mole comes out. I was I'm pretty sure Mad Mole is gonna kill him. Nope. That doesn't do it either. I want to say he doesn't die until 4. I think he passes this as well. But if this is how bad Witch is in, against a nothing deck, imagine the impossibility of someone having a cleanse, or a cleanse on their unit, like a Spirit Master, and and counter spells, and running a mermaid. I've tried to do a shaman build where you focus shaman instead of witch, and sometimes it works, but with shaman not targeting, it's still pretty bad. And then if they're running mermaid, it's even worse because now you have to double hit the same thing to maybe do something, assuming that they don't have a counterspell or a unit that cleanses, and most people run either a unit that cleanses or a counterspell, or both. The cultist deck is the worst of all of them, because a cultist can just like summon in, have a cultist in the corner, and then just cleanse whenever they need to. They can like let things die, and then if they need to cleanse something, they can just cleanse the field. Basically anybody running a mermaid, a Treant deck doesn't care, because once it gets to level 4, it basically will always be a level 4 and will probably eventually just beat you as a toxic deck. I really don't think toxic is anything anymore. You could say just run Necromancer and Minotaur, and like, I mean, people don't even run Frost anymore. And I think that Frost, like with the max talent, is the reason why you would run a Frost. I think that like Trickster, this is me running a Trickster with a Mage Robe, with an Amulet of Weakness. It's like all the things, and it's still this difficult to kill a bot before round 4. It's basically impossible. And so, like, I've been suggested Shaman, but yeah, like I said, you'd have to like remove their shield because most people will play with Mermaid. It's definitely not viable right now, specifically because of the additional, like I said, the base version, the Rock Shards bonus. A shard increases the damage dealt by the affected unit by 10% while also giving them a 30% chance to remove a negative effect. Shards last for 20 seconds, so that's basically just another mermaid bubble. And then people running mermaid on top of that. They've nerfed toxic so hard, and because I was never really actively playing toxic in any serious fashion, I don't think I ever realized how hard they nerfed it, but this is crazy. Like, it's not even kind of viable. There is nobody in the top meta playing any kind of toxic deck. It used to be like toxic deck and then like the best meta deck, and now it's not even people choosing to play Necromancer as a toxic hero. They're using like Necromancer in a regular Phoenix deck and slight using toxic, kind of, just to kind of screw over their opponent. But in all honesty, this game has just become like DPS, entirely DPS focused. And if you don't have the best deck, you just lose. You just lose to the best deck. You will lose to the best deck all the time. And the only thing, you know what, because I don't want to make this a secondary video, because I had another idea for a secondary video. I'll just combine it with this one. If you don't have the meta deck, if you don't have the best deck, you will just lose. And that's not to say that this game is pay to win. The fact that there are free-to-play players that are playing worse decks than the meta decks, it's the only reason why people even kind of enjoy this game. It's because shitty players exist. It's because people that don't pay, to have a Reincarnation 3 Phoenix and a Reincarnation 3 Kobold, 4 days ago, those people exist in this game. And it's the only thing that's keeping this game alive. Like players that don't have the best things are the only thing that keeps this game alive. If every player, and you know what's funny, what I think is funny is that a lot of like free to play players that are playing Demon Hunter decks and Cultist decks and Monk decks, right, Inquisitor decks, I think those are the people that are like, we want everything to be equal. We want this to be as good as Phoenix. And the thing about that is that if everything was as good as Phoenix, then nothing would be special. There would be no reason to get a Phoenix. But the other reason why it's bad, the other reason why that it's good, that it's not equivalent, is so that those people have the ability to just play each other and win sometimes. And then you, as a slightly better player, like a Treant player or a Blade Dancer player, all the things that I have, basically, that I play with, like a Spirit Master player, a Bruiser player, you can also beat those people, but you're still going to lose to just a Phoenix Kobold deck. And that's just how this game works now. There is no way to get to beat a Phoenix Kobold deck without a Phoenix Kobold deck. If this is how bad Witch is, and this is how bad Toxic is, that if you just run a Mermaid, you can just win, you can just push past, like, you can have your entire Phoenix field witched, and it doesn't matter because you have so much crit damage, and you have so much, like, the damage from your hero ability, either your Zeus or your Fortuna, will just do enough damage till it gets into death waves, at which point the Toxic deck dies anyway. If you can just win the game against a Toxic deck with hero alone, basically, then Toxic doesn't even exist in this game. And I think that that's crazy.